What's going on, guys? RagingRaptor here and welcome to a new Raptor analysis. Today we've got a, guest replay by the good old fame player called Keyhand. And yeah, I hope today's video is not going to be any stuttering or lagging because I am rendering beside right now a video. And yeah, I hope it's going well. And you can see today's tank Keyhand is going to show us is the LHMTV, the tier 8 new British light tank. So let's have a look at what Keyhand is capable of doing in this, well, in my personal opinion, pretty trash tank. And I think I'm not the only one which has this opinion. I at least saw as well Skill for LTU having the same opinion about all those British light tanks. Nevertheless, he is in platoon with Root Evil and Benobi, two guys from Storm. Our good old friend Keyhand here is being the noob as he is Kappa. He is spamming APCRs only, but I have to say it's understandable in a tank which only has 25 shells. Only having 25 shells is something ridiculously little to work with. Also, I have to say he plays, and told me that he plays with tank gun rammer, with optics and with vertical stabilizer. That's why his aim circle is smaller than mine is when we have a look at the replay I did in this tank, or when I played this tank. Nevertheless, you can see, like already in the beginning of the game, he took a very weird or a weird approach on scouting, or rather influencing the game. One thing while I was talking with him yesterday is that we both agree on that those tanks do not really have what it needs to have any influence in a battle. Yes, on maps like Prokhorovka you have influence because you are a light tank, obviously this is how it works. But other than that, you on maps like this, yes, you can spot, but sometimes you're just underwhelmed by how little influence you have with a reload time of 8.26 seconds for 230 damage. For example, the HWK needs 6 seconds reload for like 240 damage. Obviously though, the HWK-30 is a very strong vehicle. The good thing about this tank over here is that it has decent camouflage. You could see the Prosciutto didn't spot him until he was already shot. Nevertheless, I think he also took this position because he saw there are very little TDs which he could farm for spot damage. Plus, again, he is a player on highest skill level. He wants to be able to influence the battle himself. He doesn't want to have his 14 baboons having to win the battle for him, which is understandable. And this is like what I have to say is amazing about this replay, because he genuinely did everything right to win this battle on his own terms, and being the guy which helped, or being the major factor of winning this game. So now after they cleared this flank, he is doing basically a standard spot move, which I personally also like to do, and it's very convenient to use, especially when you have so much people in the back sniping for you. So he just now runs towards this building because usually there is always a TD, and let's be honest, there we have our TD, the SU-130 PM. And you can see the Rheinmetall Borsig Waffenträger took a chunky bite out of it. He had sadly to share the the spotting damage, but that's about it. That's all good. I don't know what happened during TeamSpeak or something, but it looks like Keyhand and Root Evil were just like, yo, let's look at this tree up here, and you can see there is a T95, and I look at just this beautiful aiming. He decides to perfectly go for the track instead of just spotting him, and this is absolutely amazing. Another really good thing is, in my opinion, is did you just saw how it just looked over there? This is just amazing map and situational awareness. Now, however, he is deciding to keep on farming the T95 as he is a bigger threat to his team than the LHMTV is of their team to the enemy team, hence why he didn't really help with the WZ-132 right now. Finishing off the T95 was definitely helpful for the team. You could see he got a lot of bouncing shots, but the ST1 finally managed to pen him, and he is a gunner. And honestly, I think Keyhand is just, in that kind of sense, he just knows what he can do. He knows how to use his 10 degrees of gun depression, he knows where to aim properly, and so on and so forth. Now we have a 110 behind there, and you can see he's waiting to hit the lower plate or maybe even the side plate because it was angled towards him, and it was a nice little penetrating shot. However, I want to point out that the game is not won yet. Yes, it is 10-6, but the enemy actually has an HP advantage, which is no bueno. So, now they even have a bigger HP advantage, almost 1k, but Keyhand gives the Leopard PTA a nice little love tap, and you can see now he is running short on shells. And this is where those 25 rounds are just devastating. I already talked about it in my personal experience, grind experience of this tank. It's just way too little. That's why I understand that Keyhand went for full gold loadout, because you can't really, like, if you want to carry your game, if you want to actively participate in the game and being a contribution to your team winning, you just simply have to use all your shells properly. Yes, you can say, but why is he taking 2 HE shots? Those HE shots still can come in handy. And in this game it didn't, but I can tell from experience that when I was playing the LHMTV, I usually always were able to get at least 1 10 shot of HE per game. Or average. And I think this is still a good value nevertheless. And you can see he still knows how much he can do. The Object 705 made a tiny mistake there for driving back so much. But again, Keyhand is just playing it perfectly. You can see he drives backwards, he locks his gun and just waits until he hits the back road wheel. And you can see he doesn't go for the lower plate because he knows he doesn't have the gun impression, so he immediately goes for the side turret, and now we just have 2 HE shots left. But by this point now, let's be honest, the game is won now. We can say for sure the game is won now. Sadly, with only 2 HE shots left, we have to say, well, is he going to do any pen shots? Well, he can penetrate the Leopard PTA sideways and on the back, but the 110 will be a pretty daring enemy. So I don't really know if he is actually able to penetrate him or not. But yeah, if he would have normal rounds here, he could get around 5k damage, which is absolutely insane in this tank if you just think about it. But other than that, I have to say he just played it perfectly, and I absolutely love the idea of going to the right hand side. I do also think that the side he spawned on is worse for spotting than the other side, so I think his move was genuinely perfect, and with his backup, with the people, with Benobi and Rude Evil, he actually just did the best thing possible. And you can see, no, he has no chance of penetrating. He tries to go for a ram, but the LHMTV is so light, he doesn't even do any damage. And now he is basically just trying to spot him, or, well, just taking away his attention, but the game is won, let's be honest. The 110 cannot win this game anymore. This is why our good old friend Keyhand is once again trying to go for a ram, and just look at what his mouse is doing. No damage again. But yeah, I have to say it was perfectly played. Like, I didn't saw anything wrong. The only thing you could say was wrong is that he didn't penetrate Leopard PTA sideways and bounced 2 shots. But then again, come on guys, in what world are we when we are going to say that this was badly played, you know? I have to say he showed that this tank is capable of carrying, but he told me that this was like one of a time game. Like, it's workable, you can do things, but just knowing that other tanks can do this so much better is just frustrating while playing this tank. So he got in this game, obviously an ace tanker, go figure. He got the Confederate medal and a high caliber medal, which is absolutely insane if you ask me. 4,770 damage, he didn't do any blind shots, 1,493 spot damage, and absolutely 6 people spotted. Like, it was a perfect game in my opinion. 25 shots, 25 hits, and 21 pens. However, 2 additional HE damage shots, so he only bounced 2. One on the 110, which was kind of weird in my opinion, sideways, and the other one on the Emil 1 turret. Like, absolutely insane. You can see it. 1,541 base experience is huge for a tier 8 scout. 2000, he almost did twice the amount of damage of the Rheinmetall Borsig Waffenträger. He did twice the amount of damage the Prosciutto did. And I think Root Evil is happy that he got carried by Keyhand. Excuse me, I'm just making a little joke there. He even did more damage than the Leopard PTA. Absolutely insane game. Yes, again, he spammed gold APCR only, but then again, I have to say it's part of the game for him, and he has the money. And again, with just 25 shells, you cannot risk anything. You saw it right there. Imagine this game was closer. He would have lost the game because he didn't have any shells left. And this is frustrating if you think about it, because not only do you want to take some HE with, because they can work against artillery, they can clutch a game, they can do damage here and there, and can kill somebody with low HP. But then again, you just have this nagging feeling in your head all the time that you have to count your shells, and just every single missed shell can lead to a lose. And this is just straight up annoying. But yeah. This was the game. Keyhand just showing perfectly how amazing he is at the game. And I hope you enjoyed today's video. If so, let me know in the comment section below. Feel free to leave a thumbs up if it was good. Feel free to leave a thumbs down if it wasn't good, and give me some feedback what I can do better in such analyzing gameplays. Again, a huge thanks to Keyhand. Don't forget to subscribe for more replays like this. And yeah, I'll talk to you all later in another video. Cheers.